everyone, welcome to another video in my Best of 2022 series. I am filming these at different times throughout the week, and I'm not certain when each one is going to go up. So I really can't say if this is the second video in the Best of 22 series or if it's the third. I think it's around the second or third. This is such a crazy time of year for content creators, and it's sort of been a bit of a struggle for me because, as many of you know, back in early November, I am still suffering with a disc protrusion in my neck that is causing pain all the way down my arm and into my hand. And a lot of you have been commenting in recent videos, I hope you're doing okay. You seem to be doing so much better. Well, the truth is I am just pushing through. I am taking my medication round the clock. I'm going to physical therapy every single week, a couple of times per week. I just saw the pain doctor yesterday, and he still wants to take a more conservative approach, continuing with the nerve pain medication, physical therapy, steroids, and then if things don't improve, then he will refer me to a spinal surgeon, which is something I definitely don't want to have happen. In case you're wondering why I'm telling you all of this, number one is because so many of you have so kindly asked for an update, and two, because my original plan for today's video was to show you my top 20 complexion products, total. Foundations, concealers, powders, primers, contours, highlights, but I just don't think I can get through all of that in one video today. My pain level varies from day to day and also depending on what they've done to me in physical therapy. But even though I'm not feeling 100%, I am genuinely super excited to share with you my top foundations and primers of 2022. And then in another video, I will be sharing with you my top concealers and powders and highlights and contours. So I am breaking up the video into two parts simply because I think that's all I can get through today. And I do know that some of you like the videos broken up like this. So if you're new to my channel, first you're probably like, what was that intro? It was so random and bizarre. I've never even seen this girl before. But now you know a little bit about me and what I've been going through the last 6 weeks or so. But what's important to know if you are new to my channel is that I have oily skin. I have oily, mature skin. I'm 49 years old and I do get extremely oily. So a lot of these foundations are going to be better for someone with combination to oily skin. However, some of the foundations that I will be mentioning in today's video I think will work incredibly well on normal to dry skin or even very dry skin. So I'm going to start with primers. And here's one of those products that I do feel will be great for all skin types. This is the iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. This primer does exactly what it says. It blurs, but it's not an oil controlling blurring primer like some of the others I will be talking about today. This primer helps to blur any type of imperfections or texture on the skin, not just large pores, and it also provides a glow to the skin. So that is why I feel this one would be best for someone with normal to dry or very dry skin. Just because you have dry skin doesn't mean that you don't also have rough texture, basically just things you want blurred. So this product is going to give you the blurring effect plus the glow. Your foundation is also going to go on beautifully over it. So that's primer number one that is good for all skin types. Not my favorite for oily to very oily skin. These next three are my favorites for oily to very oily skin, or should I say combination to oily to very oily. First up is something from the drugstore. This is the Revlon Color Stay Grip 16-Hour Matte Primer. To me, this is a dupe for the MAC Mattifying Primer. This is one of my top picks for oil controlling primers of all time. I tried this out on a whim and I was so pleasantly surprised. And then I compared it to my MAC 24-Hour Matte Primer, and this one performed just as well for a fraction of the cost. Up next is the Caliray So Blown Primer. I have spoken about this several times in different videos since I tried it, I think over the summer, I believe is when it came out. This is one of my favorite primers for blurring the pores. This truly just makes them disappear, at least it makes my pores disappear instantly. I love this. It works beautifully under makeup. It makes my foundation last longer, keep it a little bit less shiny, but not completely shine free. I really have found no primer or foundation that have truly kept me shine free all day long. They just don't exist. I really like that this contains collagen peptides. So if you are looking for a primer that will really give you that airbrushed effect or that filtered effect to your skin, this is a beautiful, beautiful primer to achieve that. This one from Milk Makeup, I find does just as well at blurring my pores while also providing some shine control. So it's kind of like a hybrid of these two. This one really provides longevity and shine control. This one does a lot of blurring. This one does both. By the way, this is called the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying and Blurring Primer. This product contains niacinamide, which over time will help to reduce the appearance of pores. I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet, but I purchased the smaller size just to try it out, but I will be purchasing a full size. I'll keep this one for travel, buy the full size for my vanity. This product is vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. The Cali Ray Primer is also vegan and cruelty-free as well. So that's gonna do it for primers. Now I want to move on to my top foundations of the year. First up is this one from Lancome. It is the Tanti Dole Ultra Wear Care and Glow. There's so much I love about this foundation, but there's one thing that I really cannot stand about it, and I'm certain that I mentioned this when I originally reviewed this product. The fragrance is so strong in this. It is the main reason why I personally don't reach for it as much as I know I would if it didn't contain that strong fragrance. This foundation is an up to 24-hour transfer-resistant formula. It is a serum foundation with medium buildable coverage and SPF 27. It also contains hyaluronic acid, mandelic acid, to smooth the skin and give it a glowy finish. So being that I have oily skin, you may be wondering, Risa, why are you recommending this foundation if you have oily skin? Well, that's because, as I said earlier on in the video, is that some of these foundations I do think will actually work better for others than they did for me. I got them to work for me. I got this to work for me. It did look beautiful on my skin. If I used one of these mattifying primers or oil controlling primers, I did get long wear from it as far as it not breaking up, but I was a little bit greasy, and it's all a matter of what your tolerance level is to shine if you are oily. So I may say that this foundation worked for me. I didn't get excessively oily. It didn't break up on my skin. But you with oily skin may try this and say, oh gosh, no way. It made me way too greasy. I was an oil slick, because perhaps you live in a humid climate. I live in Las Vegas. It's very, very dry here. So while this foundation did get quite shiny on me, I was able to control it with primers and powders, and I really liked the way it looked. The color match was perfect for me. Mine is 335W. I like that it has a pump. Overall, this foundation is just really so, so good, but they have to get rid of that fragrance. But clearly, a lot of people are tolerating it because it has almost a perfect 5-star rating on Sephora. Now, the next 3 foundations I'm going to be talking about are perfect for oily skin, combination to oily or very oily. So why don't I start with my budget-friendly drugstore pick. This is the newest formulation of the Revlon Color Stay 24-Hour Long Wear Makeup. This one has only been a favorite for about a month or so, maybe 6 weeks, I believe is when I tried it in a testing hot new makeup video. This was actually sent to me from Revlon. They sent me 3 shades, and I've kind of been playing around with which shade works best for me. Somehow the cap got lost, and I think that's what had the number on it. I believe I have been using shade 290 or 300, and this is the combination to oily skin formula. There is a new combination to dry skin formula that contains hyaluronic acid, I believe. This one, I'm fairly certain contains niacinamide. I'm gonna put some of those ingredients for you on the screen because I do not remember. I'm pretty sure that information was on the cap. Again, why do they put the information on the cap? Put it on the bottle. Well, I guess it is if I go and tear open this. Anyway, I really had good luck with this foundation. It gave me beautiful coverage, It lasted all day long. Again, I wasn't shine-free all day, but I have to tell you, the combination, if you're oily, the combination of these two products plus some powder to set, you're going to be good for quite a while, especially if you're not as oily as I am. Revlon Color Stay has been around for so long, and it has been reformulated several times. The original was like, if I remember correctly, very thick and heavy and mask-like. So that one really needed to be reformulated. But as I was saying, I believe they have reformulated this several times over the years. And this is, in my opinion, the best version. You get that long wear, you get some oil control, you get a soft matte finish, not a heavy cakey finish. In my opinion, this is a top tier drugstore foundation for combination to oily skin. And then up next is this Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I was so excited when this foundation came out, and when I purchased it, got it home, applied it to my skin, I was extremely happy with the results. I was extremely happy with the coverage. I was extremely happy with the smoothness of my skin. It's weightless, it has medium buildable coverage, and it has a light diffusing effect for up to 16 hours. It also contains blurring spheres to minimize the look of imperfections, fine lines, and wrinkles. It contains vitamin E and antioxidants. It truly gives you an airbrush look. It lasts all day long. It's just a little pricey. That's the only reason why I wouldn't put it in my #1 spot if I were ranking all of these. Because $60 or so after tax is quite a bit of money to spend on a foundation. But that said, I do feel like this one is kind of worth it. It really is that good. And the feedback I've gotten from viewers and from other content creators I've seen is that this does work for pretty much all skin types with the right skin prep. So if you are dry, you're going to want to use a very hydrating moisturizer under your foundation. But if you're oily, you could pair this with the Hourglass Airbrush Primer, which is very good. Or if you don't want to spend that much on a primer, this does pair well with all of the blurring primers. I was trying to hold all four up again, and it's just not going to work. But all of the primers that I mentioned earlier in this video will work with this foundation. They also will work well with this Haus Labs foundation. I feel like this is very controversial. People either love, claim it's their holy grail, or they really just don't like it at all. I loved this foundation. I did an entire video dedicated to how much I like this foundation. Now, even though I did that video where I raved about it, I've since developed other feelings about it. I agree with a lot of other people that it's not the best for oily skin. It really can make you excessively shiny. I don't know what it was about my experience with it that made it different from all the other times, because I purchased this foundation. I took it with me on a trip to the Lake Havasu in Arizona, which is extremely hot in the summertime. And I think it was August or September when I tried it. And I actually wore it out on the boat all day long in the heat on top of sunscreen. And it still looked great after the entire day. And I know some people are questioning that story because they've tried the foundation and they felt like they got very oily. I don't know what to say to that. That was my experience, which is why I immediately came home and made that video and just said what a good product this is. And I still think it is, but I have since experienced more of what other people with oily skin have been saying, that it does make them too shiny for their liking. That said, the formula is amazing. I still stand by what I said about the coverage being so natural, so beautiful. This contains skincare ingredients. The color range, while a little bit difficult to figure out, is really good. I like the packaging. There's so much to love about this foundation, but it is probably best for those with normal to dry skin. And I'm basically going to say the exact same thing about this next foundation. This is from Iconic London. It is the Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint. I don't typically wear skin tints simply because I prefer more medium to full coverage foundations, or at least medium buildable to full, like when I'm going out for the night or just any occasion where I want fuller coverage. So in the past when I have tried skin tints, they've either been too sheer, not long lasting at all, and I just never reached for them. This one changed my mind about skin tints. Well, let me take that back. I also really like the Fenty Ease Drop skin tint, but that one came out the year before, I believe. This one only recently came on the market, and it is really, really good. Iconic London has some really fantastic products in their range. And if you have normal or combination or normal to dry skin and you want a blurring, beautiful, natural looking, everyday routine, I would highly suggest this combo. Iconic London knocked it out of the park with this duo. The only reason why I wouldn't consider this my personal favorite duo is because, again, it does make me a little bit more shiny than I'd like. And the coverage, while better than most skin tints I've tried, is still not as much coverage as I would ideally like. It's good. It's very good. I love this combo, which is why I have it in my best of 2022 video. It's just not my #1 pick if I were ranking all of these. This is my #1 pick, and I believe it was my #1 pick when I ranked top new foundations about 6 or 7 months ago. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. People who watch my videos consistently are probably tired of hearing me talk about this because I really, really love it. Yes, one of my videos where I talked about this foundation was sponsored. But as you know, or at least I hope you know, I only accept sponsorships for a product that I truly love or a store I truly shop at. And I'll be honest, I did not like the original Makeup Forever HD foundation. It did not work for me. It didn't have the coverage that I like. It didn't have the longevity. It made me really shiny. This one is as close to perfect for a natural everyday foundation that I have ever gotten. I went to Hawaii back in October, which is extremely humid, and this is the only foundation I brought with me. And I had really, really good luck with it. As I said towards the very beginning of this video, I have never found any foundation in all my years of trying makeup, wearing makeup, that has kept me shine-free all day long. But again, say it with me, it's a matter of how much shine is acceptable to you. And the amount of shine that I get with this is very minimal. I can touch up with powder and it doesn't look cakey. This is such a, in my opinion, beautiful foundation, so natural looking. It flexes with your skin, so it's not gonna settle in those fine lines and wrinkles. I know some of you are starting to think, Risa, is this video sponsored by Makeup Forever? No, this video is not sponsored. The last time I talked about this product in a video was pretty recent, and I did get some comments from people saying that they could not find a color match. And I am so, so sorry to hear that. That is such a bummer when a foundation's formula is so good, but you can't find a color match. That is a real bummer because this is so good. So here they are, my top primers and foundations of 2022. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already and hit the notification bell. So hopefully YouTube will make you aware of when I upload my next best of 2022 video, which will be my favorite concealers, powders, highlights, and contour products. I truly appreciate you all understanding why I couldn't do it all in one video. There's just only so long I can sit here when I am in pain, although I'm feeling a little bit better. Something about talking about makeup takes the pain away. It really does. I feel like when you're talking about or doing something that you really love, it takes your mind off of other things. Thank you all so much for watching. You can find more content from me over on Instagram and on TikTok under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. I hope to see you all in my next video.